So today we're going to talk about a nurturing woman. Put a like on the vid. The caption says, "This is what men truly crave in life." So when you come in, you see the chick on her phone tapping away. The guy comes. He sighs and says, "Ugh." He lays down. He's exhausted. You can see his face. He's depressed. She looks. She could tell something is wrong. She asks, "Are you okay?" He says, "Yeah. Had a rough day is all." She looks and says, "Rough day, eh? Would sexy time make you feel better?" That's what she says in her feminine voice. So sexy time make you. So he's like, "Nah," because this is the thing, man. Women think coochie is the cure to everything, man. So he says, "Not tonight." He says, "Not tonight." So she's kind of thrown off. Then she's like, "Oh man, he's really fucked up. He got to really, really fucked up if he don't want this good, sweet, tender pussy." So she gets a pillow. She pulls the pillow a little bit. She begins to snuggle up on him. She kisses him, tells him, "I love you." That's what she says. So she puts a leg on him, cuddles. It just gives him that comfort. He's a little bit surprised, and he's still upset and stuff like that. But she's there for him. So he begins to cry, and he says, "Thank you." We get to the bottom. Now, what that says is that that's what every man craves. A bunch of men are in the comments agreeing. Now, you are a man. I don't have to tell you whether you want it or not. I believe that most men would absolutely love this. I think most men at a certain point, if you were down and you had somebody that you could completely trust 100% to come and just coddle you in a time like that. When you were stressed, when the world is really weighing you down and stuff like that. Somebody that could console you and all that. That would be great, especially if it's your girl, not somebody that, you just having sex with or something like that. But everybody watching this knows the issue. Everybody watching this knows the issue. The issue is what we just seen, and that desire inside you to have something like that, to be able to be that vulnerable with a woman, is a fantasy. It's a fantasy. And I'm going to get into why it's a fantasy as far as multiple reasons. But one of the main reasons that it's a fantasy, when that happens, she will never look at you the same again. When that happens, depending on the woman you're with, which this is something that happens with an abundance of women, we could say the majority, we could say a little bit less than half, but it's a lot of women. It's a significant enough portion to say this. It is very possible that it's a countdown till she throws it back in your face. A little bit of respect goes when it comes to that. We are men. We're human. We feel things. We have emotions. But when it comes to showing vulnerability and weakness, we get punished for it. That is the reality, and that is why this is a fantasy. So that point that I made, we'll come back to that a little bit later, but let's talk about what men are, especially in relationships. What we are looked at as far as a family unit, we are looked at as a pillar of strength. We are looked at as the leaders. We are looked at as a person steering the ship. We are looked at as the captain. So when you have that position, innately as a man, because you've had enough experiences, you've seen enough, you've seen other people's experiences. Nobody is coming to save you as a man. So you have to be on point. you have to make sure that you were on point and you were getting shit done. So when you have a moment where you're weak and you want to be vulnerable about the weakness that you have, and you want to tell your girl, you want to tell her about when you're afraid of something. You just want to tell somebody. You want to, console. You're sad about something. You're depressed, whatever the case may be. Women in their hearts do not want to see that from their men. A lot of men have tried to vent to their woman. And there's a funny contrast on how that works. When she vents to you, you take it all in, you understand where it's coming from, and you just let her get it all off. At the end, you might tell her something she should do or what decisions she got to make, but you just let her get the shit off, man. And you don't look at her any type of different. You don't punish her for being human and feeling emotions and being vulnerable and being weak at a certain point. But when you as a man do it, it gets to, I've had conversations about this with women. I've seen it in action. I've seen divorce. I've seen all types of stuff. They will start throwing solutions at you. They don't want to hear it. They do not want to hear it. They begin to look at you as less of a man. At the end of the day, they want that strong barbarian. The whole reason women do shit tests is to make sure that you are a capable man. And when it comes to this activity, it shows that you are not a capable man in her eyes. And the reason that I mention tests is because chicks will try and lay a trap out. That's what chicks do a lot of times. The dude, Nowsy Nows, has a skit about this. Let me find a video. Yeah, after you get done watching this, go check that out because that is a funny video, bro. I might put a link in the description if I remember. If I don't, you can remind me. I'll be sure to do it. But listen, in the video, the dude's girlfriend is trying to make him open up. She is crying. She is trying to get this dude to open up, and he just so closed, right? He won't open up. He won't let her in. So after so much prying, and he just staying brick as hell, like he just stoic. He just not, no emotion, nothing. She finally get this cat to crack. He start crying. He talk about all the pressure he have on him in life and stuff like that. He get finished, and she say, I knew it. I knew you was a weak ass nigga. Nigga, they all told me about you, da-da-da-da-da. And she packed her shit up, took the kids, went to her mom's spot. Even though I told you, he got a lot of funny videos, so if you want some comedy, you can go and watch some of his other stuff. But listen, it's still a good skit, but that skit is how things really work. It might work at a different pace, but that's how things really work. That's how they really think. That's what it really is. So you'll see a lot of these mental health ass chicks like, oh man, men's mental health and da-da-da-da-da, we care, open up to your woman, da-da-da-da-da. Man, look, I can't find a post that I was looking for, but a guy wrote, why women like men venting so much? A woman replied, as a man, you get one opportunity to vent. Do you wish to discuss your job? Blah, 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 all these problems, we can. All that venting shit is going to make me leave you. Go vent to your boys. I need a man. She's at least honest about it. It's a trash perspective, but at least she's honest because women are typically not honest. So listen, man, this is just something you just have to fundamentally understand because on that same post that I got that from, all the women is saying, I hate women like this and women like this give women a bad name. Oh, my guy can vent to me all he want. Vent, 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 vent. They saying that on the post. It would be so great to believe them. But you can look from guy to guy. It's not a me thing. It's not like, oh, this is just me. You look all over the internet. You could look from race to race to race to race, from here to Australia, any English speaking country. You could even look into some other countries on some occasions, even though their culture is different. You can look at somebody, you could live in Maine. You could be listening to this in Maine. And there's a guy in California all the way across the country to some place you would never go. And you both have similar experiences. And y'all have seen some of the same things when it comes to this. This is just how women are. And you have to accept it. You have to accept it. So it's very simple. Your safe space, you have to figure out what your safe space is. If you got to go out to the car, the garage, anytime you could get, when she's gone with the kids or something, like, you got to figure out when your safe time is. And you vent to the air. If you got to do that, you vent to the air. You talk to yourself. You don't even got to respond. You just get it out of your system. Let it all out. Complain. Do what you got to do. Cry if you got to. Wipe your tears and stuff like that. You do what you got to do. That's the free version. The premium version is you go get a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something like that. You go and you vent and stuff like that. You say what you gonna say there. And don't let her pump fake you into, well, what was you talking about? What you be talking about? Don't let her, oh, well, you could just talk to me. Shit, save some money. Bullshit. Bullshit. You could also, the third option, which I don't recommend, is putting, just giving this to somebody else. Just not your girl, but you go to somebody like one of your boys and you just let it out. The reason I don't recommend it is not because they will throw it back in your face like, your girl, because there are some guys who will. There's some guys who are absolute bitches. But the thing about it is, even a guy don't want to listen to a guy vent in some cases. So a guy will be more accepting. He's not going to look at you different. It doesn't, everything is still going to be the same. He just may be a little bit annoyed depending on who the guy is and stuff like that. So, and what your relationship is like. But a million times to one, I would recommend you take that option before you go and you lay them tears on her chest, bro. That's just what it is. Sometimes cats got to get this shit off their chest, and women are the worst place to get it off at. With that, I'm done for today, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gone.